Okay.
So we're talking Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. So this is the latest installment in the long-running Mission Impossible franchise. Had some, I guess, there's been some great people directing the film as well. You've got Brian De Palma, we had John Woo, J.J. Abrams, you had Brad Bird, and then this one's by Christopher, I think it's McQuarrie or something, I can't remember the surname, but yeah. So this is now Rogue Nation, to me, initially seemed it was going to be similar to the last one, but it's not quite. But the starting almost feels that way because he's caught up. He's been put into not quite prison, and then he has to be rescued out of it. But the stunts are great, and as for an action-packed film, this is the summer movie to watch, really, isn't it? It's fun. Yeah, it's got everything you want it to be. It's like America's version of James Bond, really. Now he can do everything by himself, and he's got a team of cracked super team behind him, like M and Q.
I definitely got that feeling, that James Bond feeling. For me, the James Bond, even since about the 2000s, or really GoldenEye, for me personally, I haven't been as interested in James Bond. I like the older movies. So this one, for me, it's becoming a substitute, because I find the Mission Impossible movies are just always entertaining, and no matter what director's on there, they seem to nail it.
Yeah. So after, I guess it's one of those kind of action-packed films. So you know what you're going to get. It's good because the stunts are always great in the Mission Impossible films. So again, he raises the stakes. He does something crazy. He's hanging onto an airplane, and at any point he could literally just die. It's that kind of insane kind of stunts he does.
Yeah.
And I also the car chase. I was reading elsewhere, not just the motorbike stuff, the car sequence with him and I think Simon Pegg was in there a bit as well. He actually drives the car. Which is really impressive, considering most people wouldn't drive the car at that point. They would just have a stunt double to it. So, give him his props, credit where credit's due. As much as people may not like Tom Cruise, I mean, I think he did really well with this film.
I am a big fan of Tom Cruise lately. I mean, since he's come into his own, coming into doing he does smaller sci-fi movies, and he does all his own stunts, or there's a lot of his own stunts. I can't say all of them, but he really impresses me these days. He used to put me off a bit with his whole cocktail and Top Gun history, but these days, Tom Cruise for the win.
So again, another strong entry in the Mission Impossible franchise, you would say.
Who's that?
And of course, yes, definitely. This is one of those films where I knew going in that I was going to like it, not because I thought it was going to be something completely different, but because I knew it was going to deliver actually exactly the same as all the other movies. But that doesn't mean it's going to be boring. It's not the same story. It always changes things up. Simon Pegg, of course, is brilliant.
Oh, he's funny. I love him.
It's called Mission Impossible. You might think Tom Cruise, but their little team that they've got going, and it breathes a lot more life and character into the whole thing. Whereas if you've got James Bond, for instance, it sort of focuses on him. It doesn't really have a team going for him, apart from within each movie they usually have people he teams up with a bit. But it's nice to see that following over from one movie to the other. But you mentioned the plane scene, on the plane thing. When we first saw that, we were thinking weren't we thinking that's a bit extreme, going straight to a hole, grabbing onto a plane? This was going a bit too far already, with like the crazy stunts. But luckily, if you feel that way as well from seeing the trailer, it's quite near the beginning of the movie, and it's sort of supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a bit over the top, just to sort of remind us that you can do sort of crazy stuff. And then it's out of the way for the rest of the film to carry on. So that was
then the story kicks
pleasing
in,
for me.
fine,
So that pleased me, because that was the one thing that that I felt I was expecting actually a good film still, but I was getting this feeling that maybe other people were thinking that's a bit much. So I was pleased that it came out that way. That actually, that was done well as well. It wasn't just Tom Cruise doing crazy stuff. This is actually just a bit of crazy right at the beginning, just as a bit of fun to get you into the mood, get you into the film. So.
You always need that big Michael Bay entrance of a film where something has to happen to kickstart the action film, like any Transformers film, even Bad Boys 1 and 2, something happens at the start which is quite epic. Armageddon, for example, where pretty much most in New York. You need something like that, otherwise, for these kind of big action set-piece films, you need to get the ball rolling. And what better way?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you do, You have to get people in the mood for what sort of film it is, so yeah, totally. I agree with that.
So another strong film with Tom Cruise as kind of like, do you think he's aged much? Do you think he can do many more?
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, as in Mission Impossible.
As the guy from Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke.
I think they can keep it going. I mean, as long as they keep this formula. I mean, obviously they're going to have to start repeating things maybe, because we've used up quite a lot of the typical spy tropes, like the way things happen, betrayed by this, outcast by that, and
Yeah, since the first film, there's always IMF has always let them down, or something's gone wrong in each one. There's only so far you can raise those stakes. You have to because like Mission Impossible 1 was great. He didn't use a gun. He's pretty much just used his wits, and we had the kind of like the iconic jump from the fan where he's kind of dangling, which then got replicated in so many film spoofs. Then Mission Impossible 2 went completely the other way because you'd had John Woo. Everyone had a gun. Even the dinner lady had a gun. Everyone's just pretty much shooting everyone. It was a John Woo film, not a Mission Impossible film. And then you went back to basics with it was. Then you went back to basics with J.J. Abrams bringing in the next one, and again crazy action sequences. And then we had the last one where we blow up the Kremlin at the very pretty much start of it, I believe, in the last one. So every time the stakes are getting higher and higher. You're right. I think you can almost run out of story if you're not careful.
You're on our turf now.
But at the same time, I think probably you can repeat these same stories if you just mix them up a little bit. So I think they'll be able to make more moves. I mean, it could go up to 8, maybe, probably beyond. But
8's the magic number.
8 is the number that's popping out to me that before it will start getting old if they try to keep it going any longer.
I think if they're up to 5, one more makes 2 trilogies, so that's 6. Then 8, maximum 9, I think, and then that's got to be it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they reach 9, I think they're going to have to change things on a much larger scale. They'll probably have to change the actors.
The team. Yeah, they'll have to get someone else in. But I mean, I do love the series. Though. I love the repetition of the characters and situations. It's never disappointing, so I do want them to keep doing it. It'd be interesting to see if they do go beyond 8 and 9. Yeah. We'll see what happens next, because this is a huge hit again for Mission Impossible. I mean, I think it opened the biggest numbers they've ever had, and worldwide it's making a lot of money. So if that kind of trend follows, then I think there will be another one soon enough. I'd give it a good strong 7 in my kind of because I'm not a huge fan of the Mission Impossible. I do like them, not the biggest fan of them, but it was a good strong film. Action sequences were great, and it's good to see an action hero who kind of does his own stunts, and you can see it's him. It's not like he's hiding behind a green screen, or he's not in the car. This is all him. Even the motorcycle scene was really good, really well done. Yeah, they love their motorcycles in this series. They do, don't they? John Woo just made it all crazy, and so why not? Why not? For me, I rarely give 10s, and when I say I'm a fan of Mission Impossible series, I'm not a big fan of Mission Impossible itself, the idea.
It's just these actual films never seem to disappoint. So I normally wouldn't give a 10 for this, but I can't really find any flaw with it, so I have to give this a 10. I can't find anything to say really negative about it, so yeah. You win Mission Impossible. You win Tom Cruise, Simon Pegg.
It's just one of those franchises that just keeps you going back for more. You just can't get enough.
Yeah. Undeniable.
I do like that they kind of shoot it in IMAX format as well, which is something that's becoming more and more common. But I remember the last one, when they released it, it was IMAX only for the first week, because a lot of it was shot with using the IMAX cameras. So watching it in IMAX obviously is special.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely gives you something extra. You really want to enjoy your cinema experience. Yeah, go with an IMAX.
Definitely. So that's our review of MI5.
MI5. True.
Next will be MI6.
Yes.